had. We're going to get into it tonight on this Thursday night. Thanks for being here. Let's do the out-of-theater reaction and my snapshot of the film. I kind of gave it to you in the intro here on this Thursday night as we get ready for the MMT of Wicked for Good. And you can see soaring to the heights of its predecessor was always going to be an issue for Wicked for Good, like I said off the top. But Chew directifies nicely if his lack of ideating leads to a feels-long product. More on all this in a minute. Grande growiates even more into Galinda this go-around. And it's not going to be a letdown for the majority of moviegoers. That I am pretty much certain of. We get into it now on the MMTE of Wicked for Good. Here is 20 seconds or so to set this up, and then we get into it. Thanks for being here on this Thursday night.
Bring me Elizabeth's room. So I have proof that she's dead.
Perhaps a change in the weather.
It's gone too far. Haven't you heard? I'm the Wicked Witch of the West.
Rated PG.
And you get a real nice layout of the entire film there in 30 seconds. Now, if you've not seen the play, some of this might be a little bit of surprise. But let me tell you that when I watched this play in Orlando, Florida, way back when, it's been many years since I saw this play, I remember, and how can you not, that this peaks in the middle. Wicked hits its apex and then goes to intermission. And the back half, it's not bad. It just doesn't soar as high. And that's where we are here tonight with this film for a lot of the reasons that I talked about off the top. Now, Chew's directifying is still very impressive here. I think more so again in the first because you're building on the world and it's your first time in the environment. And there's just no way to replicate that initial virginal viewing of any universe. And that's what you have here in part two. You're like, we were just here. Again, a year ago. This weekend a year ago was Wicked 1. So it hasn't even really had any time to settle and for us to long for more. We're right back into it again. Now, when I mention Chew and it's a directifying, obviously that includes the production design, the CGI, all of the world building here that is his vision of the world of Wicked. And all of that is here again. And I expect this to be a heavy hitter in both of these categories along with costume design, just like the last time around a year ago. Now, one of the issues is Chew's editing, right? The film feels long, and there are some notes I have to make this a better film, and it really starts with the beginning of the film. It's slow at the beginning. You are hoping that we pick the pace up, and unfortunately, you're going to sit there going, can we get going? And it takes a little bit to get moving. And then you end up, because of that front that takes too long to get into gear, to get you back really into the film, you have an overlong overall product at 2 hours and 17 minutes. Now, 10 plus minutes of that is credits. I sat through all of them so I could take my selfie for you tonight so I don't get in trouble. Look, he's taking pictures during the movie, which has never happened. But I just want you to know that I'm a good cinematic citizen. But all of this combines to just leave you kind of, I don't want to say bored, man. You can probably tell by the stream here tonight, as I'm just out of the theater, that I just don't have the same cinematic erection that I had in the first, as we like to say here at MMT. Ariana Grande is better because, like anything, when you have done it before, you get better the second time around, the third time around, the fourth time around. You watch MMT, okay? Your homework is to go to YouTube. If you're watching on X, go back and watch some of the early midnight movie talks on YouTube. You're going to say, the guy's decent. It's pretty good, but it's not the same show it is now because I've been doing this so long. I've got my 10,000 hours or so. Well, maybe not, but you know that's the rule for when you become an expert. I've done this enough that I feel very comfortable. I am not going to hold back. All of this is just like fitting into one of your favorite pairs of shoes. So that's how it works for Ariana Grande into the slipper this time around. She's just more effervescent, I would argue. She has to carry a lot of emotion in this. That's there for you. Impressed with Ariana Grande. And of course, Revo. But this time, I feel like that's where I see the progress is with Ariana. And clearly, Jeff Goldblum's always going to be a plus for a film. Here we get more of him as Oz. Once we get to Oz, I think the film really hits its stride. When we get there, there's a scene where he has a bunch of like robotic eyes. And from what I can tell, those are all actual props. That's not CGI. That looks great, okay? Seen the film, you know what I'm talking about? He goes around and he's like having fun with one of the pupils, as the joke goes. That looks great. And Goldblum is always a plus, even though he's not like throughout the entire film. When we get to him, you're like, okay, awesome. I am totally with this. Now, before I give you my score, I'm going to give you the MMT fix. And I alluded to it earlier in this as you really have that front that needs to get moving faster. I want to truncate that front and I want to extend the back. When we get to Wizard of Oz, because Wizard of Oz fits into this, right? It's concurrent on the back end of Wicked for Good. We are also in the midst of Wizard of Oz. I want to see more of that. Interesting choice by Chew here, not showing Dorothy, right? We see the slippers. We see her body. We don't ever see her face. So that choice is right. We're not going to go back and have you remembering Wizard of Oz other than it is obviously this universe. But that was interesting choice by Chew. But I want to see more of that. And I want to see the screws tightened. And I think we have even a better film, and I'm going to give it an 88%. It's a B+. It's not nearly as high as I had the first one because, again, I just was not as stoked throughout this as I was the first time around. And I imagine you'll have the same kind of reaction when you see Wicked for Good this weekend, as expected to do bonkers business. We'll talk about that and what I expect to see from a box office perspective momentarily. I'm going to get to as many comments as possible as well. I am flying solo tonight. I do not have a producer, so I am pushing all the buttons as I do a lot of times. So it's hard to do a live show and to get all your thoughts out there and push buttons like this. MMT Oscar opportunities with Wicked Part 2. I think you're looking at a similar kind of output as we saw last time. I mean, this is not a great year again, so there's no reason this can't get into Best Picture. Winning Best Picture, no chance. 0% chance this wins. I don't think even Chew gets into Best Director. You know, you look at last time it won costume design and production design, correct? It's the bottom of the screen. I did the homework earlier and I'm instantly forgetting that. But it won 2 Oscars, nominated for 10. This time around, I don't see a reason why it can't. But remember, right? Dune, similarly, a better film in 1 than 2. And look, Dune had much more Oscar success in 1 than in 2. And I think this time around, maybe Wicked only wins 1 Oscar. You know, it's not going to win more than 2. And it's a shame because I know you want me to tell you that this is better than the first, but there's no universe in which Wicked 2 is an improvement on 1 other than Ariana Grande Everything else just doesn't quite measure up. I think Oz, right? The things I pointed out that are good here are stronger than the first, but overall, again, man, you guys know this. When you return to a world, you do not have the same sense of wonder, of awe, of just merriment with the film. And this time around, I really felt it. In fact, I was checking my phone to see how much longer the film was going to be. And that's never a good thing. But back to average audience members, they will like this film. No question. They're going to be not nearly as hard on it as I am here tonight. And even 88% is still a pretty solid score here at MMT. Remember, it's like the Richter scale, though. So 88 to 90, it's not 2 points. It's a huge difference between 88 and 90, right? Every time I'm pushing that number up, 92, 93, 94, like last week when we had No Other Choice, Sentimental Value, you're talking about films that are not just like 5 percentage points apart. On a Richter scale, the impact of those films is markedly stronger as we go up every percentage point here on the MMT meter, as it were. Let's check the tomato meter. I have not seen what other critics think of this. I do my best to kind of keep that out of sight, out of mind, because I don't want it to influence me at all. So I did not see this early. See it here at opening night. I enjoy seeing things on Thursday night when they open. Let me tell you something. There's nothing better than rolling up to AMC Burbank and sitting in a row virtually by myself because we have so many screenings. I don't have to sit next to all of the critics that I don't want to see in the first place. So it's wonderful that way too. So, listen, I don't want to know what anyone has said. And anyone else said. And truth be told, most of them are bad. I've said that. I'm not going to get angry and yell tonight, but I'm just saying, I'm right. That's the reality. We got it at 69%. Now it's 70%. And it looks like there's no universe in which this is a rotten film. So I'm going to see if anyone who says it's rotten. There's a few, but no, this is not a rotten film. There's no universe in which this is a rotten film. I'm not saying you're going to love it. Even if you don't really like it, it's not rotten, right? I mean, ultimately, because I am on Rotten Tomatoes a long time ago. Did I tell you the story quickly on Rotten Tomatoes? I was on Rotten Tomatoes, and when I said, hey, man, I don't mind coming back, can I get back on there? They sent me some song and dance about you have to do all these things. I go, F off, man. I'm not going through this whole fucking process again. Screw yourself, Rotten. I'm going to create my own Rotten Tomatoes that's actually legitimate critics, the good ones, because this is full of a bunch of people that really suck. I'm not doing it. We're going to be positive tonight, whoever. You're not going to. It's true. And I said, I'm not doing it. I'm not jumping through your fucking hoops, okay? First of all, and also Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Universal and Warner Brothers have ownership in Rotten Tomatoes. So the whole thing's incestuous. It's not good. So, I just like to do it for conversational purposes. But truth be told, if you eliminated 98+% of the critics, quote unquote critics on Rotten Tomatoes, that'd be a start. 98 need to go. 98%. Not a joke. Gone. All of you. They're bad. We're going to have an American Idol critics, and I will be Simon. I'm already in. I don't need to go through this show. I am Simon. I will destroy people right and left. I would be the number one perfect asset for that show. Be like, nope, get out of here, you're bad. But they fill a diversity box. Well, I don't care. They're not talented. I don't care what the color of their skin is. Can you imagine that? Imagine not caring what color someone's skin is. Weird. Why would you ever get bonus points for that? Why would you ever? Don't even. If you think that way, go by, hit the road. We're not doing that. We're never going to do that. I'm never going to value someone more or less because of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. It's never going to happen. So, GTFO, honestly, just go. Because I'm not doing that. We're never going to do that. But that's the world we live in, especially the younger generation. Oh, but look, it's an older white guy. I don't give a fuck. What the hell's wrong with you? Seriously, what is wrong with you to even say something like that? And talk about not wanting to discriminate. Why discriminate against anybody? Oh, it's okay because it's a white person. Shut up. Just literally shut up. Look in the mirror and know that you're the bad person, not me. I can promise you that. Let's do the theater check here. This is what you get. You don't get that from your boy Campea. John Flaccid Campea. You don't get that from him. He might have more viewers. You don't get what you just got from him. I will bury that bastard. Any day on the mic, I will destroy him. It's not a contest. It's literally a one punch done. What happened? Done. Campea, I don't care if you've been doing this for 20 years. And apparently he talked shit at one point. Campea, in a live situation, I will own your ass. It's not a contest. You might be OG, but the NG's here, the new guard, and I don't care if I have the views, the subs. At the end of the day, the talent rides through the mic, and nobody can beat the gold standard, baby. Don't you forget it. Wicked for Good. Here it is, 8:30 IMAX, and you can see it. It looks pretty solid. I mean, look, it's 8:30. We're going off in about 45 minutes from now, and this is the largely sold out IMAX at the AMC 16. That is encouraging. Let's go to Universal and look at theirs. I think they have a late IMAX, like a 9-something there. Let me roll up there. 9:45, huge theater. And you can see there's actually a really good seat. Hold on, guys. If you want to go see this at 9:45 at Universal, let me show you something. This is a great seat back here. Do you see this seat right? Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. Do you see this seat right here on the left? Right on the left side. That is a money seat right here on the left side of the screen, right there. That seat is really good. So if you want to see this film tonight in IMAX on a good screen, get over and get that seat right now. It's raining in LA, so unless you live down the street, I would not advise anyone go out. It's awful here. It's cold and rainy. It's like 51 degrees. Like, what's going on? Let's go to Century City. Check them, and I'll give you my number. Here's the Grove IMAX, almost full at 9:30. Oh, wow. Look. I mean, just slammed. And then let's do one more. Let's go to Universal. We already did that. AMC Century City, 9:30, almost full IMAX. And we're not even checking all the other PLS. Remember, this film has IMAX, Dolby, and Prime, and 4DX. It has everything. This is going to be the biggest opening we have had since Fantastic Four, which was $117 million at the end of July. Remember I told you guys we were in trouble after Fantastic Four? We sure as hell were. We have not had a film in nearly 4 months at over $100 million. You had Conjuring and Demon Slayer that did nice. Everything else went under. Weapons did some business, certainly, but nothing like we're going to see this weekend. We have not had a film like this in forever. I'm going to put the projector at 137. I'm going to take it up. So that means I think the floor for this is 137. Now, I believe that there's going to be a front load here because a lot of people want to see it first. You're seeing that happen over and over with these big films. People do not want to wait. They want to see them Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will pick up because the matinees. You've got that 4-quad here. You've got the young, you got the old, you got the male, you got the female. More female, right? So this should perform in a way like a Barbie when you look at a film that did bonkers business for that same kind of demo. And also this hits Gen Z, this hits millennials, this hits Gen X. It really hits everybody. That's why it's a 4-quad. Let's go look at Wicked from last go around to give you some idea of how that film did. Remember, it opened at 117. Hold on, let me hit this. Give me a second. It was somewhere around there. 112. Okay, 112. And then the overall snapshot, this is one of those rare films, right, where the domestic is higher than the international. We had that happen with The Twisters. We had that happen with Sinners. And you look here, remember, Broadway show, not as big around the world. Therefore, you have a nearly $200 million plus advantage on domestic over international, 758 on the worldwide. I don't know if this gets above that. I mean, listen, they have it out same weekend as last time. The plan is to have this play all the way through Christmas, but I fear that the word of mouth here is not going to be as strong as the first, as you're hearing from me, and I'm not the only person. There's a lot of rotten reviews here tonight. I don't agree at all with someone saying this is a rotten film. Like, that's nuts. I mean, there's plenty of garbage that's been released in theaters this year. This film does what it's intending to do. It does it with flair, and it's just the magic is not the same. But you knew that. How could it be? It can't be, because ultimately, like we said, it's very difficult to replicate the excitement of a first film when you go to visit it again. Look at Dune 2. Same thing. Great to see theaters full. Tom, 100%. I mean, that's what we really honestly want to see. La Angelopoulos de Cine. This one can make more than 800. We'll see. I mean, I the neckbeards will love. Look, they're putting. By the way, they're giving you guys as @ symbols now. Is it Campia? I don't know. I don't even care. The guy, I will destroy him in a live stream. You guys know it. But here's the thing. He also, I think, goes up to Burbank, but I'm not worried. Like, listen, when I talk the shit to the people, do you think I'm worried about these things? Yes. Only one of us goes to the gym. Only one of us in the space. Literally, quite literally. It's not really my concern. But when we look at this, I want to see it succeed. We all want to see these films succeed. Now, what I want to see happen, though, is films like Rental Family this weekend, which I'm looking forward to seeing on probably tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I'll push that. We'll have that on Sunday night. That is the Brendan Fraser Searchlight. I really love the idea of that film. That looks like something I'll be into. We'll talk about that Sunday. But I want to see films like Rental Family pop back up. I want to see the smaller, non-tentpole films do business. We're just not. You look at Springsteen, one of our favorite films of this year, a very, very good film, one of the best films of the year. I don't care what anyone tells you. And that was just a total bummer from a box office perspective. I don't even know if it's playing in theaters near you anymore. It's like got one screening in Burbank, one showtime. What a shame. What a shame. And that's happening repeatedly with these films. They're just not working. Even a Running Man last weekend, not a good film, right? But even that film, way under. It's like tentpole or bust at this point. Tentpole or bust. Anything else is not working like it should. And yes, Kuzma, I mean, listen, this is what we like. These are the films we like. A Rental Family. Obviously, go back to No Other Choice, Sentimental Value, Springsteen, right? These are the films I have ranked very high. Magazine Dreams, right? These are the films that are going to be in my top of the year. F1 is the best blockbuster of 2025. That's not even a contest. And Wicked, this year, Wicked for Good will not be in my top 10. I believe Wicked was, if not in my top 10 last year, it was right on the edge. So that just shows where we're at. And I want to see Marty Supreme too, but A24 is not going to show it to me. It's not. They're not going to let me see it because they're bitches. That's why. I mean, do you want me to put it another way? I'm going to put it like that. A24's bitches. So I don't. And the funny thing is as I say that, because I've dragged A24 right and left, I'll drag them forever. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about their approval nor invite to any one of their events ever again in the history of time. When you don't give a fuck about what they give you, or they don't send me their bunch of screeners. Oh, I'm so hurt. I've got Neon and A24 screeners up my ass all over the place. I don't need them. I don't need any more. I'm good. And most of the movies suck, so I don't care. But here's why. A24 are bitches because they hate when I hammer their films. But then the thing that they don't even recognize, I don't care. F you, A24. Seriously, go. I don't give a shit. You guys died a long time ago in my eyes. You've put out so much garbage with movies like Tuesday and The Front Room. These are things that you should be embarrassed to put out. Because you know what you have at A24? You have a bunch of millennial Gen Z. And I'm sorry, if you're millennial Gen Z, God bless you. I'm just going to hammer you for a second. The majority of they just don't even know what's good half the time. And A24 has a bunch of woke, and I'm not even the anti-woke guy, but they are so fucking agenda pushing. Look at our films. They have the whole shut up. Just make a good movie for fuck's sake. Why are you so pushing agendas? I can't stand agendas. I am not the anti-woke guy, but if you push an agenda on me, I am going to have a major violent reaction the other way. And A24 has repeatedly given us films with agendas, and I'm just not into it, man. So Marty Supreme, I've heard great things about. I want to see it. A24 will not let me see it early, but here's the thing, the difference between how I operate and everyone else. I'm not going to hold that against because I don't give a shit about A24. When I watch Marty Supreme, if the movie's good, I'm going to say it's good. I'm not going to go, well, A24 didn't invite me to. Who gives a shit? And I don't care if Timothée Chalamet's down the street. I'm not going to watch it to hang out with him. I want to see the movie. The stars mean nothing to me now. I don't care. In fact, the longer I'm in this, the more I think stars are just fucking people. I'm not saying I didn't before, but think about this. A star is just someone who is doing a job that is in front of a camera. They're no better than anybody else. There's not one single aspect of them that is better. I'm in better shape than 99% of the stars in Hollywood. And why would I worship them? Name one thing that makes them interesting. Nothing. They have some talent. Who cares? Why are you, did you hear the word of the year, parasocial, where people put these people on pedestals and they think like Taylor Swift's a goddess? Dude, they're people. There's nothing different about them. Stop acting. In fact, the truth be told, I wouldn't even want to be an actor now. I think I was watching like a Wicked. Can you imagine sitting there as the director's like, okay, we got to get this close up. And you're sitting there for like 3 hours as they get a camera in your face and go, okay, now let's try it from this shot. I'd be like, oh my God, did you get it already? I'm done. I'm out of here. That's what I do on this stream. Do you see me editing? No, it's live. If I did this again, some of it would be the same. Some would be different. Maybe I wouldn't even mention Campia. I don't know how he came up. Whatever his name is, I don't care. I will destroy him in a live stream. That's all you need to know. But that's what I can't imagine. Yeah, it is. But it's weird. Don't put these people on pedestals. Don't do it. It's fucking weird. Like, there's people in the film Twitter space, and even critics, who are like our friend Rachel, right? You know, the one that we made the show of the week. Like, treating Glenn Powell like he's anything other than a person. Glenn Powell, good-looking dude, decent shape. I'm in better shape. But I'm just saying, right? Here's the deal. Is stop acting like these people are something special. Ariana Grande, look at Cynthia Erivo. They're talented. Great. Who cares? I'm not going to, they're people. If I see them, I'm like, hey man, I liked your movie. Moving along. I went to an event last Saturday. Remember I told you guys, and Natalie Portman was supposed to be there. She wasn't there. Guess what that meant to my night? 0%. Whether she was there or whether she was not, it meant nothing. I was hanging out with my buddy. We were drinking, having a great time. Great event, Neon. Thank you. Even though I don't think Neon I don't think they knew I was there. Honestly, because I have said so many, right? Even though Neon has our top 2 films of the year, I have trashed Neon. I've trashed A24. No one in this space goes harder than the gold standard. Nobody. It's not. No, it's not. There's nobody. Don't even try. Don't even bother. Don't. And if one of you says fantasy, the stream's over. No, I'm going to get you over just a little longer. I mean, we're at half an hour. But remember, Thursdays aren't guaranteed an hour. There's no guarantee that I'm going to go an hour. You see this in the background. I've got to do it. We're gonna watch the trailer for Moana. It's 1 minute. I have not seen it yet, so I need you guys to just, if you've seen it, I have not watched this. I already know what I'm going to say because you know what you said when you watched it, and I already know what I'm going to say, but let's watch it. Here we go.
I am a girl who loves my island, and the girl who loves the sea. It calls me.
Why? That's what you said, right? Money. Can you say cash grab like all of these live action remakes? But wait a second. Is her dad, The Rock, is he live action? He looks like he's a cartoon in that shot, doesn't he? From what I can tell. Hold on. Let's go back and look where he's diving down. By the way, maybe it's actually his back. This was pre-Rock got skinny. Remember? You guys seen the pictures of him with the smashing machine? By the way, can I give a little shout out to A24 real quick? Someone take this and just cut it and send it and put it on A24, all their stuff. A24, stop pushing The Smashing Machine as an awards film. It's one of the worst films of the year. Stop. You're embarrassing yourself. A24, seriously, someone needs to get in, take the keys, and say you're done. No more Smashing Machine shit. It's bad. Everything about that film is not good. Why are you pushing Smashing Machine? Is The Rock paying for the campaign? This is crazy shit. I mean, what the fuck? Why don't you go ahead and put Tron Ares up for Best Picture? Better film? It's a better film. Hell, Running Man might be a better film. Are you kidding me? If I see one more FYC event for Smashing Machine, I'm going to go to the event and smash some shit up. I am not having it. In fact, I'm going to find where these events are. I'm going to go there with a poster that says Smashing Machine is a fraud, not an FYC film. Get this shit out of here. And then they'll love me even more. Stop. Stop. I'm done with this shit. Smashing Machine. Garbage film. Not a good film. Nothing about that film's good. Nothing. Not one element. Tonight's kit is FC Juarez, playing right now, as a matter of fact. They're up 1-0 on Xolos in the Liga MX championships. Well, at least the playoffs. So, by the way, some love. Look, is this not like the perfect Wicked kit tonight? Look at it. Look at the color. I mean, it's perfect. Look, and also some love for the graphic. Guys, come on. I don't get enough respect from you. Not enough. I make graphics. I got this cool graphics package with some wicked shit going on tonight, and you don't care. You watch Grace Randolph. You watch Jam Campia. What Jan? I'm going to call him Jan. And then you also watch Jeremy Johns. 200,000 views on his. Hey, everybody, I'm Jeremy Johns. Did you see where this thing's going on? And you watch that shit. You don't watch me. I got all the cool stuff here. None of that. Instead, you want to go watch Mr. Leathercoat. Hey, man, I'm Jeremy Johns. Look at my fucking. What are you doing? Stop! Why do you do that? It's true. You guys, what the fuck? What is happening? Why is this? Why am I destined to forever be the Riddler's channel from the Batman? Every time I come on, I gotta say it's true. Every time I got that guy Hassan, whatever, he's a piece of shit, that guy. That guy's got 1 billion views. Name someone else who sucks that's got 1 billion views. Grace Randolph. They all suck. And I'm sitting here running the Riddler's channel from the Batman. God, you don't think that weighs on some? It does. I keep saying it because it does. Ultimately, I laugh, but it's just Soups has a bigger audience. He's terrible. God, Soups. These are the reasons why I consider just stopping. The whole thing just disappears. You don't appreciate the graphics. You don't appreciate the effort. You don't appreciate the insight. You don't appreciate the kits. You appreciate nothing. You want to go watch Jeremy Johns' leather coat with his fucking thing flipped up going, hey, everybody, look what I saw. I saw the movie tonight, and look, I think they're, hey, what the fuck? God! Seriously, I don't understand it. You know how many people I've watched on a live stream and I go, what? How is this have anybody that watches it? Listen to a podcast. Everybody's got a movie podcast, right? You know how many people suck that have a podcast? I listen to them, I'm like, oh my God, who told you to do this? Now, I've always said, if you want to do it, do it. But you also got to know your limits. I know that in a one-on-one streaming live situation, no one will beat me. No one. I don't care who they are. No one. It's not a contest. But if I didn't and I still was doing this, I might enjoy it, but at least I'd know in the back of my mind, not very good. But that's the thing. You got to know. Do I have to? Okay, I'll watch another trailer because I'm literally stall. Did you notice that was all just a bunch of stalling tactics to get a few extra minutes on the stream? All right, here we go. Let's find it. What's it called? We Bury the Dead. That's the one with Daisy Ridley? Is that what it is? Hold on. And then I'm going to save the Project Hail Mary for Sunday. That's like a 3-minute trailer. It's going to give us the whole thing. Oh, Hopper's trailer? Should we watch the Hopper's trailer? I feel like we should watch the Hopper's trailer. Now, let's say that for Sunday. I know it's today, but I don't care. I want to save it. You guys want me to watch, what is it called? I'll look for it. It's called We Bury the Dead. Hold on a second. Oh, give me a second. I got to get rid of this. I'm doing everything. The other thing, I'm producing the show. I don't have someone else pushing my buttons. None of you push my buttons. Not one of you. All right, here we go. We Bury the Dead. Here it is. Is it 2 minutes? That's a nice runtime. Okay, we got to answer a question from YouTube, everybody. Quickly, come in quick. Which of the following cell phone providers do you have a positive opinion of? AT&T, I mean, goes back to my youth. Yes, I used to have Verizon. They're pretty good. I like T-Mobile. I'm going to give all three. Here we go. Now I get access to the trailer. Here it is. We Bury the Dead. Get ready here on MMT. The live trailer reacts. For you, Luis, this is for you. Ready, set, and go. I mean, it's basically any zombie movie, but it's okay. Let's continue. I mean, some of the cinematography, I like kind of that shot above.
Images emerge following the deployment of an experimental weapon.
Next, please. I'd like to join the body retrieval unit. Who was down there?
Just a little further.
My husband.
Oh, we got the emotional tie there. There's the emotional. I'm looking for my dead husband.
I want to make a difference.
There should be a way to get to the highway without them spawning us.
I know what you're going through, but if you find your husband, I hope you understand what that could mean.
I mean, so far, there's nothing in this that's anything new on the zombie genre. Now, we still have a minute, so maybe there's some twist. I'm waiting for it. Oh, okay. Well, according to Joe Blow, the undead here are unlike any we've seen on film before. Okay. All right. I'm going to hold you to that, Joe Blow.
The odd ones that do come back online are docile. You have nothing to fear.
Okay, again, why are the dead different? Did I miss something? How are the dead different this time than in any other zombie movie?
Oh my God. You want to know why only some of them come back? They're the ones with unfinished business.
Is it true what they're saying?
They're getting more hostile by the day.
Just a little further. Just a little further.
Just a little further.
All right, so I can tell you this. It'll definitely be better than 28 years later. Oh, God. Easily one of the worst films of the year, right? Without question. Top 5. Has to be in your top 5 worst films. Okay? Maybe on Sunday I'll watch the other one, Sodvic. I'm kind of over RRR at this point. We all like went crazy for RRR. I feel like I just need a break. I still feel like I'm in a refractory period from the RRR thing. But We Bury the Dead looks like anything else. Now listen, I believe it's Vertical, right? Vertical, I think, does a nice job. They don't get a lot of attention. They're kind of this distributor that most people are like, what? And you go back to, what are we going to talk about, everybody? Asphalt City. Asphalt City is a really cool film with Sean Penn and the ambulance, the paramedics that are driving around New York. It's a cool film. I like that film a lot. You guys know that. Those of you who watch the channel know that I'm a big fan of Asphalt City. So this might be interesting. I think also it's early in the year. Listen, once we get past the new year, it gets to be a dead zone. We get lucky if we have anything that's even marginally interesting to consume. So this will be a nice little January or February, whichever month it is. That'll be a nice little thing. Also, you'll get some of the awards films that bleed into the new year because remember, once January hits, people just say, I mean, studios kind of give up. January is known as the wasteland, along with August. Typically, those 2 months are going to be dead zones when it comes to the cinema. So anything that I can get, I will absolutely take at that time of the year. All right, we watched a couple trailers. I'm going to save some more for Sunday. I got to save something for Sunday, right? We'll talk about Wicked box office on Sunday night. That'll be a big story. Also, I'm going to have the evaluation of Rental Family, and we're going to do trailer watches and whatever else happens, something else that went down this week. I'm down for that as well. But I think I am ready to do the MMT comment blast closeout early here tonight because we did it all. I got to everything. We evaluated Wicked. We talked about the box office. I hammered other critics. I mean, we're good. I never saw, you know what? I need to watch that film. I never got around to Train. I've seen virtually every zombie film, including Wreck, right? I'm thinking like really small. Remember, you were talking about a great zombie film of the past few years that was in our top films of the year was Handling the Undead from Neon last year or 2 years ago now. It blew me away. Handling the Undead's really cool. Now, it's not a typical zombie film. It's much more intimate, slow, glacially paced, but man, it speaks to grief and it speaks to loss and what you will do for a loved one. I was blown away by Handling the Undead, one of my favorite films of the past several years. And that's the kind of film we like, right? Slow, meditative, thoughtful, emotional. I want to be engaged with the film. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be, because sometimes a film like that, you're going to say it doesn't move quick enough. It, like I said, glacially paced, and it doesn't have enough plot. But if it works, if it's a good mood piece, then I am down for it. And I always want to see a film that looks good and technically is dialed in. We talk about directorial calibration all the time. And, you know, look, tonight, even with the Wicked Part 2, I think calibration is pretty solid. But again, there are some issues, right? The calibration includes editing. And the film needs to be tightened and extended slightly and some scenes compressed. And there's just stuff. And, you know, you back and look. We talk about a John Chu. And you look at his filmography, you go back and you look at In the Heights, okay? A film that I liked, but it's too long. Another film that goes on 20 minutes too long. Wicked 2, probably 15, 20 minutes too long. So that's a thing with Chu. So Chu needs to be told by someone, I should be the exec. Ain't going to happen. I'll have to do the exec from here because they're not going to hire. Remember, because I'm not going to check the boxes. That's a problem, okay? All that. That's part of it. Let's just be honest. Also, every studio is aware of who I am. Every single studio. That's not an ego thing. It's 100% accurate. It's not even. If anyone wants to doubt that, just send an email. They'll go. I know. I told you guys. A24 is fully aware of who Weber is, and it goes back to when I was destroying. I mean, it goes all the way back to when they first started, because I've destroyed some of their films. I think they have respect ultimately, even if they don't invite me to things. They know ultimately that I'm very, very objective. And I'll turn around and just say, hey, this time I hated it, but next time I loved it. But you go back and you look at what happened when I was trashing Everything Everywhere All at Once as one of the most overrated films of that year or any year. And I heard from multiple sources that Daniels were pissed off that I was dragging Everything Everywhere over and over and over. Because you guys know there's no one who is more fearless and relentless at what they do than me. I have no fucks given for any studio and their feelings, and or am I going to get invited again. That is for other people who have, frankly, not even half the voice, 1/10 the voice I have. they will never go down as memorable because they don't have the fortitude to say what needs to be said, and that will always hold you back. And also, let's be honest, even if you have the fortitude, if you don't know what you're talking about and you have bad taste, we got a problem. So the combinations here were the gold standard for a reason. Sam Raimi's movie will start the 2026 slate. Yeah, that's right. The one on the island, whatever it's called. Yeah, like that's a nice little January movie. And we're almost there. Guys, we're in November. I mean, that's crazy, right? This year just flew by. I remember talking about Companion last January. I swear it doesn't feel like that long ago. One of our favorite movies of the year. I like that screenplay a whole lot. Remember, when we talk about films, you're talking about a screenplay, you're talking about a direction, you're talking about a performance, you're talking about all of the elements, right? And I think Companion really hits as a screenplay. Twinless hits as a screenplay and direction and performances. Twinless, again, to remind you, one of the best films of the year. Now, as I recommend Twinless, whenever I say this on the Comment Blast Closeout or anytime, remember, there is graphic gay sex in that movie. Okay? Just telling you the truth. So if you don't want to see that, don't watch Twinless. If you don't have a problem with that, then, not graphic, I say, but it's sex. Okay? It's not graphic like you're watching Pornhub, but it's enough where if you're not comfortable with that, you're not going to like it. That's why I try to say, right? For me, I can handle a lot of shit. The one thing I don't like is a Terrifier. I think it's inhuman, right? It just is debased. I don't like that feel. And even if I know what Damien's trying to do, as I said it, and I've said a million times, say it again, I would never make a Terrifier. I would never make that film. Even if I knew that it was going to make me $10 million and I could live up in the Hollywood Hills and drive my Ferrari. But I don't even care about that. But I'm just saying, for a lot of people to be like, that'll money, 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 money. I would never put a piece of art, and I'm going to call it art, Terrifier, into the world. I would never put that film out because that's against, I believe, light. It's a very dark film. And not, horror's dark. I get it. But it crosses a line. Terrifier is over a line, and that it is. And, it's very much, go back and watch Siskel and Ebert. They talked about that with Centipede, Human Centipede. They talked about that with a lot of horror films, like Siskel especially. And I feel like listen, if I said there's one critic that could model everything that I do after, it'd be Gene Siskel. I loved everything that he had to say, the way he said it. He wasn't nearly as aggressive as me, but I think if you watch him, you might see some shades. And I think that's because that's one of my role models. So when you watch a Gene Siskel talk, I think that's kind of where I kind of originated in my film criticism, watching those two when I grew up, but I definitely was more of a fan of Siskel than Ebert. Did you get tickets for Shining? Not yet. I will. I'll probably do, Luis. I'll probably get the tickets last second. A lot of times people drop out and you end up with a good seat. If you try to get it now, it's like you're sitting in the front. But if you wait, if AMC app is the best thing ever. Listen, I know I drag the AMC shows all the time because I'm not a shill for anything. I am a shill for good films, not for a company, not for a studio, not for a director. I only talk about what is in front of me right now. And a lot of people are like, I'm an AMC stock shill, so you got to say everything's great. No, I'm never going to do that. It's never going to happen. But if you look at the AMC app and you have AMC A-List, one of the best things ever, because what you do is you just go in and out, you get a seat, cancel, add, cancel. You can do it 100 times. There's no fee. It's wonderful, and you can always find a seat last minute that's pretty good. I respect and love Terrifier. Personally, wouldn't ever bring that to myself to write a screenplay. Exactly. No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I respect the film for being exactly what it wants to be, but I wouldn't feel comfortable making that film. Not me. I wouldn't, right. So if the script that we wrote, which is a movie that nowadays wouldn't get made, right? I mean, I've talked about it. It's a great script. It really is. But it's a movie that wouldn't get made because it's a small film that would get buried. It would make no money. But that's what I want. That's what I want to write. That's what we want to do. That's what I want to introduce into the world. I would never, if I write a horror film, and actually, funny thing is, we're actually getting ready to start one. That's going to be kind of a twist on what we initially did. So a lot of times you have a great idea in life and you look at it and you say, how can I change this and make it slightly better by making an alteration here or twist a knob there? And you look at the initial script that we wrote can be adapted to horror. And I think that that's the plan. I was trying to sell it to my writing partner this past weekend, and if he's watching here tonight, I need you to be in with me because I can promise you this will work. I know it. If there's anybody who is more honest with themselves than me, I dare you to find them. Nobody. I know what my shortcomings are. I know what my strengths are. And I'm not going to lie. One of my shortcomings is I get too aggressive on here. I start trashing people and talking shit, but it's okay. That's what happens. It's me in the moment, okay? I try not to cross lines. Like when we talked about Rachel Leishman, I said Rachel Leishman's creepy because she's talking about Glenn Powell, and it's just not normal. You didn't see me talk about her appearance, you see? I don't want to do that because that's not what I want to do. But I do want to drag people. But I don't want to drag them for. Now, I do say some critics look like Jabba the Hutt. But do you hear me? I don't say a name. You don't see me say this person looks like Jabba the Hutt. I try not to do that because it becomes, I mean, I get it. I'm not even saying I should do that at all. I'm not suggesting that that's the proper way to go about. But it is what it is. Okay? I mean, there's a raw energy and unfiltered quality to what I do, and sometimes I'm gonna get up and come close to a line, but I try not to cross it. I mean, I try, Luis, but the thing is like, it's hard, right? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's very, very difficult when I look around the dial, as it were, going back to the old days when you had TV, and you flip the channel and you go, this isn't good, this isn't good, this isn't good, this is good. I would argue that what we do here is better than 90+% of the people, certainly in this space, 95, 96, 97, 98, is way up there. I would argue what we do here on the space, period, against anyone else's pod or stream is better than what they do. I would argue that, and I'm not just saying that because it's what I'm doing right now. I believe that. I think some of you believe that too. I'm not being delusional here. And that's the thing, that's the frustration, right? You say to yourself, it's not about money. It's not about views. But ultimately, it's about why not? Why wouldn't you? If I didn't think I deserved that, then I wouldn't even think that. But if you think you deserve something and you're not getting it at a level, you get a little frustrated. It's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep doing what I do. It's never going to change how I do the show. Does that make sense? But you understand, I'm just being honest with you. And do I think about that occasionally? Yeah. There's times I look at my YouTube studio and I'll check the views and I go, it's pretty shitty. But I just say to myself, it's good. And I know it's good. I do know that. And I think you guys do too. But it is what it is. I can't control that. Like, as I say that, I'm going to tell you another little hack in life. You don't do things for the result. You do things, well, yes, you want the result, but you do it for the process and you don't worry about it. Me getting in shape. When I was out of shape, not like Jabba the Hutt, but out of shape, I said to myself, let's get in shape. And I did day after day, step after step, put one step in front of the other. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, one of my favorite claymation specials of all time. You put, right? And then you end up with, you look and people say, my God, this guy's jacked. This guy's in great shape. Because I've been working out for 10 plus years, going 4+ days a week. That's what it works. It's tiny little bits. And, go back to what I just talked about with this channel. We started as this little thing back in 2022. The Batman was our first film. And I'm just like, we're late to the game. Everyone else, Jeremy Johns and John Campy or Campy, whatever it is, he and Grace, they were there forever. And Stuckman, if I was doing this back in 2014, we would have 500,000 subscribers. I know that. I'm 100% certain of that. I'm not worried. But it doesn't matter because ultimately, I swear to you, if I cared about that, let me explain what happens when I do this stream. Anytime that I do a stream and I start with a song, right? I started with the Wicked song tonight. I showed you trailers. Anytime I'm showing you video or playing a song, instantly the stream is demonetized because there's a copyright claim, not a strike. You can use it because it's on YouTube. They want you to play the song, but they're not going to let you monetize it. I can make no money. So that's what I'm saying. The funny thing is, if I had 1 million subscribers right now and 1 million people watching, I would still play the song. That's the difference between me and everybody else. Do you remember in Social Network when they said, hey, I made an app and did you sell it? And he's like Eisenberg is like, no, I gave it away for free. That's where I'm at. So if you ask me, would the stream change if I had 1 million people watching? I would still play the song. I would still play the trailer because that's what I want to do. So that's the funny thing is I talk about like monetization and views and stuff, but honestly, it doesn't even matter. I could have 100,000 views As soon as I play the song, the stream is demonetized. Does Gore do that? No. Does Nerdrotic do that? No. So who's the real, true, authentic bitch here? The man on the mic. The man on the mic is by far, nobody in the space is more carefree than me. Ask them to do that. They will not do it because they will lose money. I'm not in it for money. I don't mind the views. It'd be awesome. I'm in it for the bitches, baby. No. So, man, I'll tell you, honestly, single, and that's how it's always going to be. I've been married. I'm done with that shit. I'm 100% done. I am fucking over that. You know what I love doing? Going to the movies whenever I want, going to play volleyball whenever I want, going to the gym whenever I want, working out's total stuff. Yes, exactly. Have respect for yourself. Honestly, have respect for yourself and go to the gym. You know what the amazing part about going to the gym is? You will see it flow into everything in your life. People start acting differently towards you because you are in shape. They might not say it, but they just will. Trust me, there's more respect. Also, you'll have respect for yourself. Also, you'll have endorphins flowing. You'll get ideas. So often I'm at the gym and I'm like, oh my God, this is an idea. Because you're in a flow. You're in a state of motion. And that leads to wonderful things. And I go, what about this? A great example. Look, tonight's graphics, right? I was fooling around with this the other day because I was in a flow mood. Like, let's change this. Let's add this. Let's pull up the Wicked thing tonight. Like, this is all just an artistic expression ultimately. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. And I hope you guys are back here on Sunday. Remember, we have the Sunday morning stream, which is Midnight Movie Money. We'll go over the rate off of the emails from Universal for Wicked 2 here tonight. We'll have that number. I'll talk about that, break it down, do all that. Then at night, we're going to talk about, a little of that, but we'll go into Rental Family. We'll go into trailer watches. We'll go into whatever else. I might see something else. Oh, I saw a documentary on Susan Powder. Anybody remember her? She was the Stop the Insanity girl from the 90s. I have that to talk about on Sunday. I like the doc. It's one of the few docs I've seen this year. I forgot all about her. Anyone from the 90s, as soon as I say Susan Powder, she had short blonde hair and she was like, stop the insanity. And she was all about working out and stuff. It was a cool documentary. What I love about anything, whether it's a film, doc, whatever it is, show me a story of someone who had it all and lost it all. I love that. I love the rags to riches. I mean, it's one of the best stories, right? Why do you think I gravitate to Tar? Rags, riches to rags, right? So that's what I love. I love to see a character arc where someone goes from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. It's more interesting from the top to the bottom to me, right? That's more interesting to me. So, yeah, you had a crush on her? I don't doubt that. I mean, listen, she was cute. She really was. She looks a lot different now. She's in her 60s. We'll talk about that on Sunday. And until then, enjoy whatever you watch this weekend. And I will do my best to see at least one other film for this weekend, so I have at least maybe 3 evaluations. Remember, we had 4 from last Sunday. If you have not seen any of that, go to the YouTube channel, Midnight Movie Talk. Give me a subscribe, give me a like, and watch some of those old videos, and you'll see what I have to say about virtually any film over the past several years. And there's lots of viewing entertainment there. And raw, unfiltered craziness. Thanks for being here on this Thursday night. We'll see you back here Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Peace out. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Stay dry in LA. Bye-bye.